A very good afternoon, everyone. Our expert for today's session is Kelsey Khan. She's an eating disorder coach. She's originally from Netherlands, but currently settled in Bangalore, India. She coaches teenagers and young women to overcome binge eating and bulimia. Welcome, Kelsey. On behalf of Team Enlightenment, I hope you and your loved ones are doing well. And thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Anisha, and I will be moderating the webinar today. So for those who are watching us for the very first time, Enlightenment is India's first personalized web app platform to solve the students' issues of determining their career path by conducting various career guidance interviews with the leading experts. Today, we are going to discuss about how to become an eating disorder coach. Now, without any further delay, let's start our conversation. Now, Kelsey, can you tell me who is the coach and what does an eating disorder coach do?
Thank you, Anisha, for having me here. And yes, my family members are doing fine. What is a coach specifically? It is someone that can solve problems through their life experience and or they achieved a certain result through life experience and exploration. And now they're actually helping people to solve that same problem or achieve the same results that they got from their life experience and exploration. And what an eating disorder coach does is that we work closely with someone who has an eating disorder, and we are getting them a good relationship with food again. We're getting a good relationship with themselves again, and feeling amazingly confident in their body so that they do not have to focus on food anymore, but really focus on their life again so that they can focus on the things that really matter for them. And I do that through the 90-day Beat the Binge challenge.
Right. So, for the people who are not aware about bulimia, can you explain what it is?
Yes. So you have binge eating and bulimia. And bulimia is a binge eating disorder, but it is also a mental disorder and an emotional disorder. And so, with binge eating, what happens is that you eat a large amount of food in one go or throughout the day. So, it is not mistaken by, because a lot of people think that binge eating can be something that somebody just eats too much or somebody just likes food, right? With a binge eating disorder, we do not like food. We do not like to eat the sweets. We do not like to overeat. We feel guilty. We feel shameful afterwards. And it is something that is controlling us. So it is a drive that controls you to actually eat, and you cannot stop yourself. And it's a horrible place to be in. So it should not be mistaken with somebody who just enjoys their food or overeats. It is a serious problem. And that comes from extreme dieting. It can come from emotional disturbances. It can come from traumas, biological, psychological reasons. So it is a very complex mechanism why someone binge eats. Now, this can actually turn into secretly eating at night also, or during the day when no one is watching. So it all happens in secret. And bulimia goes one step further than that, because if you are bulimic, then your mind works in such a way that you fear food and you have an intense fear of gaining weight and your body. So when you look into the mirror, we mostly see that if you're having bulimia, you're 3 times to 5 times bigger than you actually are, which what we call is body dysmorphia. And because of that intense fear of gaining weight, we want to have that food outside of our body as fast as possible. And it is not a conscious choice, but you purge your body out of the body by self-induced vomiting or using laxatives. And the third type of bulimia is eating food, binge eating, restricting and dieting, and extreme exercising. So that is a little bit what bulimia is about, and it is binge eating and bulimia are not conscious choices. So it's really a drive from fear, and it is something that has to be done. So to able to solve this, we have to go deeper and change that mind around it, so that they come back to a normal relationship with food again. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, yes, that was a very great explanation. And speaking about eating disorders, would you say they are becoming more prevalent now?
Yes, you mean with COVID, I think.
Yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
the Instagram generation, everyone is, following an influencer and they are always, trying to fit into the perfect body type. Do that influence them as well?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And with COVID, actually, the cases are rising. And that's, but it doesn't mean that it is suddenly starting. Okay, those people already had issues before COVID, like extreme dieting, going to school, and they were not at home, so they could actually control their behaviors more. They were more in control. But now, if they're at home, studies are not there. There's not so much direction about the future, like no friends. Everything changes, so it actually gets worsened. And of course, family stress is there. So yes, it definitely is worsened. So that's why I'm getting more calls at the moment of, I had it before, or it started around January. I saw, or November, a lot of calls around that also. But cases are definitely rising right now. And what you said around body image, at the moment, you scroll way much more on the internet. You scroll way much more on Instagram, TikTok, and there is this comparison, and that is that takes a huge toll on us, right? It just takes a huge toll, and once you open that screen, you do not have a choice but compare. It's right, automatic. And if that gets intensified, yeah, it can definitely intensify the struggles with food, struggles with body image, and struggles with bulimia, and also with gaining weight, because you're at home, you do not exercise too much, so the fear get also intensified. So the problem gets worse and worse in this moment of COVID, and that's totally true. Yes.
Yes, it's very true what is said. And you have also faced this issue for 10 years. And I
Yeah.
must say that it is very inspiring that you are now teaching others how to overcome this. So, how did you become an eating disorder coach?
Yeah. So I kind of fell into it. It wasn't really a choice. I have never thought I would be an eating disorder coach as such. But yeah, how did I become it? I would tell you a little story, very short. I was on my first diet when I was 17. And I exercised a lot also, and that was kind of my life. I focused on body image, I focused on food, so that I could forget the rest of my problems also. And it was a very safe and nice space to be in, but it was not long before I realized I had a problem. I was very stressed around food. I was doubtful of what I had to eat and not. My food pattern was off, that natural connection was gone. And I could not find anyone to help me in that. So it kind of became a part of me. And I got very bulimic and very orthorexic. And orthorexia is a condition where you try to eat as healthy as possible. So I was measuring my food to the dot. And I just restricted myself from certain foods that were, in my eyes, not healthy for me, which left me with hardly any food to eat. And And then it was about 3 years down the line, I think, that my mom, or that I actually told my mom in a way, not telling her, but I kind of shocked her with it. I will not go in that story, but she found out, or she already knew. But that was the first day that we talked about it. And from then onwards, I tried to get out of it myself. Um, Therapy didn't work for me. Um, and I was always like I was also very anxious and not calm around myself, but anyways, I forgot it, everyone forgot it, it got back into my life again. It was just normal way living for me. And then I went on traveling. I wanted to travel the world to get my calm back and to be with myself and to find myself, to find a place in this world, you know. So I traveled the whole world and I got into yoga and meditation. I lived a very, very disciplined life, also here in India. Um, but nothing got me out of my food struggles. And I felt so guilty that I just couldn't be, good enough. I was living the perfect life, traveling, doing yoga, meditation, but food I just could not get right. And I could not be happy with my body if it did not touch a certain number on the scale, right? But anyways, yoga and meditation helped me a lot to drop into my body. So there I learned a lot. I studied a lot in that. I learned a lot with self-expression to the tantra practices, which will I not say the sexual practices that side, but really working with my femininity and expressing myself, expressing womanhood actually, and celebrating that. And then I got into coaching, and suddenly I stood in a room full of people, and we were discussing about our dreams, our visions, and our needs. And then it suddenly hit me, right? I was like, whoa, I actually spent so much time thinking about what others think, whether I will be good enough or not. And I spent all my time worrying about my body image, my food, and I could have done so much more with my life, with my dreams, but my focus wasn't there. So it kind of dropped off of me, and then I started to reintroduce healthy food, healthy eating, and I was trusting my food again, and trusting my body again. And in that way, I got out of it. So, self exploration, yoga, meditation, working with self expression, femininity, also with the coaching, exploring oneself, like that whole, telling 10-year long journey.
Right.
Yeah, that actually everything helped. It was like stepping stones, right? And then I thought, okay, you know what? There are so many girls who are struggling with this, and I'm gonna help them. So I just um, got back and I just digged in my past, and I saw everything what was working for me, and I clubbed that together in a 90-day program with, of course, with help of my own coach. Um, and the 90-day Beat the Binge challenge was created. And yeah, now I help others get free from bulimia and binge eating.
Yes, that was a great story. And
Thanks.
I would like to ask you that while you were exploring yourself, what were the challenges that you faced initially?
That is a very good question. Um, well, I was actually always trying to fix myself, right? Everything has to be perfect before I could be good enough. So that was a big challenge of wanting to be perfect, because I was, I still am, a very advanced yoga practitioner. I could bend my body in all the directions and all this, back bending and everything. But still, I thought like, oh, I'm not good enough to, you know, give some retreats or something. So the challenges was that I wasn't, no matter how hard I tried to be in my yoga world, be meditating, I didn't feel happy. And I was like, why is it? Why am I not having a good relationship with food? Why am I not happy? I should be the happiest person on earth right now, right? So, so that was a big frustration. And the second challenge was every time when I got back home from my travels or from India, I got relapses. So every time I got back home, I got back into major anxiety attacks. I got back into bulimia. I got back into my food struggle. So it intensified my struggles. And that's why I got back every time in traveling. Yeah, and the third one was my body image. I just I just couldn't love my body in some ways or another, no matter how hard I try. You know, the self-love movement, just love yourself, you know, it's just like, but it's not as easy as they say, right?
Yes.
So so those were the challenges I faced. And what got me out of those challenges is really actually being myself and not waiting for the green light of someone else that says, okay, you know what, you were good enough, you can grow, you can follow your dreams. And especially from my dad, you know, got a very bad relationship with my dad, and that was a big challenge. So I had to overcome all that. And that is when I realized, oh, okay. So yeah, those were the challenges I faced, and also, of course, not being able to eat with others
That.
because I didn't like to eat with others. So my social life was not as it's supposed to be. Not being able to really focus on my dreams because my focus was somewhere else than my dreams. Um, so yeah, all of those challenges. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes, that was amazing. Okay, so back to my question. Let's talk about qualifications. What qualifications do you need to be a coach, and do you need an MBA?
Yeah. So the only qualification that you need is that you should be able to solve a problem. And you have life experience in the thing that you offer to people. Okay. If you do not have experience, like it's like teaching people to be a millionaire without you have being a millionaire, right? So that is the qualification that you need, is to be able to solve a problem and to be able to do it and deliver results. And apart from that, of course, it's very handy to do some courses on how to set a system together, how to set a nice program together, and how to let it roll in the right way. So, you know, for you to be a coach, it's also important to get a coach yourself to be there with you and create something nice, so that it is a nice system, you know, or else it's going to be maybe a little bit all over the place and very messy, right?
Right.
Um, yes. And if you want to do some additional skills as a coach, you know, like me, like NLP, and you know, I've been a lot in a mindset space with yoga, you know, so I got my you know, my my, how do you say that, rucksack, or your backpack filled with goodness that I can now teach others. And yeah, you do not need an MBA because you know, learning online allows you to pick any skill that you can want, but you have to learn and apply it. It's not like, okay, you know, I just learn it. You have to also apply it. So yeah, that is very important. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you went through a trial and error method and you have to experience it on first hand basis, right? So can I ask you what is needed to be a good coach?
Yeah, so be a good coach is what I actually already talked a little bit about is getting yourself a coach so that you know exactly how you can nurture your people that coming in and that they also have a very nice experience just to get what's inside of your mind, what you want to do, get it out on paper and let it flow. And for that, sometimes you need some help for, again, someone who has been through it. So that is good. Yeah, that's it.
Right. And are there any other skills to be successful as a coach?
Yes, a major skills, and I that is actually in every business. Marketing and sales, you have to do that because if you cannot master that, then it's very hard to get people in. It's very hard to get people on calls. It's very hard to explain to people what you do. You have to be very clear on your vision. You have to be very clear about who you want to work with. You have to be very clear about your story that you're going to tell. And attract people to you and also getting out there in the world, because sometimes what happens is that we as human beings think like, okay, I run a business. Now people will come.
Right.
But that's not true, right? So
Right.
it's just, yeah. So you have to do your marketing and you have to be skilled in sales to be able to reach out and say, put your flag somewhere and like, okay, I'm here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That was great. And what are the top three niches that you can explore as a coach?
Very good question. So there are three markets that you can choose, and these three markets are actually very profitable in any business that you choose, which is health and wellness. Which covers fitness, online, coaching, also fitness, vegan lifestyle, recovering from pregnancy, weight loss. You have a lot of things. PCOS, you
Right.
know, all of those things, and even yoga classes online. So health and wellness works good. I'm also in the health and wellness space with being an eating disorder coach. The second one is money, how to make money online. But of course, then you have to be there yourself, right? I have seen so many coaches who offer people to be a billionaire and they haven't been there themselves. They're not having a rupee in their pocket, right? So do not create noise and do not create something fake in the market, because we already have so much noise around us, right? We want to be real for ourselves and we want to be real for others, and that is where the world is going. So making money online can be being skilled in e-commerce, stock trading, social media growth, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, Amazon, um, real estate, a lot of those things. And the third one is dating and relationships. That is also very, very important in a human life. But then again, make sure that you're good in dating and relationships
Right.
and that you can sustain it. So, yeah, those three topics: health and wellness, how to make money, and dating and relationships.
Right. So there are all these skills that you need to be proficient in. And most importantly, I feel like lifestyle, the change in lifestyle is very important in this. And while doing all these things, how do I know that I'm ready to be getting into coaching?
Yeah. So, I would say, like, for if we talk around career choices, it is very important to first, if you're starting to go into your career, as you all do, like you're all very young, it's very important to be smart about it, right? I mean, your passion or what you like sometimes won't give you the money that you need to enjoy life.
Right.
Okay, you can enjoy life, but if you make a little bit more money, you can start your side hustle business. You can, do other things on the side. You can provide for yourself. You can go on holiday. So you really have to be smart around what do I like, but also what makes me the most profits to build up on my own life. Okay, you should not see your career only. Your career is not the most important. You have to look at your whole life, what you want to do with that money also. And then, if you go through your career, if you go to life, you go to your relationships, you go through your health, and you have been into some struggles, you have to be in some trials, some error, you have to, you struggled and you have solve the problem, then you can look at, hey, now I can be a coach, now I can guide others, now I can teach others. So you should have done it yourself and you should be able to get other people the same result. And first, you test it with others. So you give others your services and you see if it's also working for them. Okay, and you make it work for them. You make it work for them. That is how it goes. I also had some clients first for free, then for a little money, then for more. You really test it with different people and you craft your program according to giving the best results. So it's always a learning process, and then you're ready to be a serious coach. So delivering results is the key criteria for that. But you need some life experience to
Right.
do it first. Yes.
Right. So I want to ask you that this is a very stereotypically known as a girl issue. So what about the boys who want to also get into this field?
With eating disorders.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So there are not many boys who are going to get in this field. There are more fitness instructors and in weight loss and everything. But it is basically the same. Like if you have suffered a lot from eating disorders, also boys have that. Okay, there are more girls and women, but
Right.
boys also have anorexia. Boys also have bulimia. Boys also have a binge eating. But I would say girls who had an eating disorder are most likely to choose a female coach,
Right.
right? And maybe I have not been a man, so maybe in some other life, but I do not know what the man would like. But if you want to be someone, then you can do it. But make sure if you are being a coach, if you choose some career path in this, that you also have enough people that are having this problem. If you have a problem which just like 0.1% of the population has, it's very difficult to sell. You're not going to get those results. So show that there are enough people who have the problem and that there are enough people that actually want to come to you with this problem.
Right. So I want to ask you that, um, what about the parents? Like this happens usually in a very young age. So do you also include parents in the coaching programs?
Yes and no.
Oh,
Yes, yes. Okay, let's start with a no. A lot of youngsters come to me and they're not able to talk to their parents because they do not understand the problem. And especially here in India, there is not much awareness about this. And mostly what I said in the beginning, she's just eating too much, she's just overeating, she loves food. It's okay, just meditate and you will be fine, right? but it doesn't work that way. But instead of that, like if their children have a serious kidney issue, they are going to the doctor,
Right.
right? And they pay a lot of money for that to heal their body ailments. But with eating disorder, it's not yet seen as a serious problem, and that itself is a problem. So these girls come to me, and they have to invest in themselves all on their own, and they want to do it in secret. So with them, I work with them closely together without their parents knowing it.
Right.
Okay? Yeah, so that is what they want. Now, on the second hand, if they talk to their parents know about it and they understand what, well, their daughter or their son is going through, then I work with them also. So I have like 2 sessions with them or something to explain how it is going to be, what is needed from their side, and see how the progress is going. So then they are involved.
Okay. Okay, so as you mentioned, there's very less, near to zero awareness in India. And personally, I've also had friends who have come out to me and said, I'm facing this issue. So, as a friend, what can you do to, handle these issues?
That is so wonderful. I'm so glad that you asked.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a wonderful question. And I think a lot of people should ask themselves this question if they have a friend going through this. It is I'm just going to be very honest, it's very difficult to help them. Because they're in a mind space that you yourself, as a friend who is not going through it, can hardly understand how it feels like and how it is. The only thing how you can help them is giving them a safe space to let them talk to you, and just just give them understanding, just give them, you do not have to give them solutions, you do not have to say just use your willpower or meditation or just do some yoga. It doesn't help. The only thing what is helping them is being a friend who can listen to them without any judgment, because there's a lot of shame and guilt around what they're doing, and also a lot of guilt and shame around that they cannot get themselves out of it, because they want to use willpower, you know.
Right.
um, but yeah, it isn't that easy. So really, to be a friend, just being a listening ear and just saying, you know what, I get you, and it must be hard, but I'm here, I'm give you a hug, and you can always talk to me. And I may not understand what you're going through, but I'm here and I treat you without judgment. I will never judge you.
Sorry, you can continue. Sorry.
No, that was it. I would just say, at the end, I said, as a friend, you can say, you know what, you can always come to me. I will never judge you. I will always just be here listening if you need me. And that is already a huge relief for them.
Right. That was
Yeah,
very
that's,
inspiring. Thank you for
yeah.
that. Lastly, do you have any advice for people who are watching this right now?
Yeah, because it's about career, right? And choosing your career. I always had so much stress around what I would choose, what not, what's the best for me, and what not. And oh my gosh, you know,
Right.
but your career is not set in stone, I have always done my own thing. I went traveling, I went into yoga. I started with hospitality, in managing a great spa change. And yeah, but I just wanted to travel, right? And now I am a coach, which I never thought I would be, So your career is not set in stone. You can always pivot, but
Right.
do make the choice. Never feel that you're stuck somewhere, because I always hear people, I'm stuck in my job and I'm stuck here and I'm stuck there. Never feel that you're stuck. You have always a choice to say, you know what? I am going to go one step higher, or I'm going to go left now. I'm going to go into another direction. And that's why I said in the beginning, be smart about your choice, about, the backpack that you want to hold on your back, and fill it with skills that you think you need and that you think are handy to start with. See it as a stepping stone. Like, I start here and then I can see what I can do with these skills, because there are so many opportunities. And the last thing I want to say is that sell yourself also, because the mistake that I made was being too shy, being too held back. Always showcase your work, because others do not necessarily see how hard you work, what kind of asset you are, what kind of gifts you can give to the company. So always showcase, 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 raise your voice. So it's very, very important to develop your voice and communication, and sell yourself. Be yourself, go out there and push yourself into it and show that you're worth it. That's all that I can say.
Right. That was a great session, Jesse. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm sure
Thank
this
you.
has cleared a lot of doubts for ample students and has inspired all the future wellness coaches. It was
I
a
hope
great,
so.
yeah, it was a great, of course. I mean, it was a amazing session. It was a great pleasure to have you with us. And all the students who are watching this right now, stay tuned with us. And if you have any questions regarding this amazing career path, then please do write it down in the comment section. Enlightenment is working towards the goal to inspire students to excel in their careers. With the changing dynamics, we bring the experts from some of the very interesting and offbeat career paths. So download our application and follow us on our social media platforms to explore the world of careers. So lastly, I hope everybody is doing well. On this note, I would like to conclude our webinar. So thank you, Kelsey,
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Isha.
All this session has helped all of the students, not just who are pursuing this as a career, but also who are facing this as a problem. So thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure. It was such an honor.
Thank you so much.